Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Nico, that Chico with Blackout Entertainment, back with you with another reaction. So this week, I'm gonna be addressing all these bullshit men's advice videos you be seeing all over YouTube. They're like trying to like teach men like how to get girls and shit. Honestly, I'm not even gonna give my opinion here. Like, I'm just gonna start like watching. Let's get it.
This is why every man should get a tattoo. You see, tattoos increase a man's edge and sex appeal. Even if you're not the most attractive guy, just having a few tattoos can actually increase your overall attractiveness by a few points. There's actually been some surveys done, and women usually prefer men with tattoos than having no tattoos at all. If you were to get one, I recommend that you get a forearm sleeve. That way you can show it off in every single outfit. Even if you're wearing dress shirts, you can roll up the sleeves and it'll still be shown, giving you a high amount of sex appeal. But remember, never get tattoos solely for women, because if you do, I guarantee you throughout time, you're definitely going to regret it. So make sure that you actually want it, then find an artist that fits your style.
Okay, so hold up. He's like telling men to get tattoos to like be more attractive and shit. But then at the end, he's like, oh, like don't get like tattoos to get women.
Huh?
Then why you have a whole video telling motherfuckers to like get like a forearm tattoo to like make themselves more attractive? That shit doesn't really make sense. Like, obviously, well, I'm not someone who's like anti-tattoo or like anything like that, because like shit, I have two myself. I fuck with them. Like, I got like my shit right here, and like shit, I got like a chest one. Shit, I'm not gonna take my shirt off for that shit. But I've had like tattoos since I'm like 19 years old, and like I'll probably end up getting more. But I'm someone that kind of just sits on an idea for like a really long time, because I don't want to like get something that's permanent in my body and my skin, and I'm just gonna regret it. I feel like what he's saying, like if you approach like getting a tattoo with the mentality of just like trying to like get more like women and just pulling more and just attracting them with like, oh, you got more of like that like badass look and shit, like you're probably gonna regret it in the future, because like you're not really doing it because you really want it or you really like it that much. You're just doing it because you think like girls will be interested in it. But like, yo, you might be married in the future and shit. You're not trying to pull anybody. You don't fuck with it anymore. Like, what's the point of even having it? Like, you should honestly only get like body art and just like get ink and shit. Like, if that's like what you really want. Even like my first tattoo, my chest tattoo, when I was like 19 years old, like I got that shit because I wanted to, bro. Like, I wasn't even trying to do it for girls and shit, because like that shit's not like a universal like attractive thing. There's a good amount of girls that like really fuck with it and into it. Like, they like guys that have tats and shit. But there's like a lot that don't fuck with it. That they like the more like conservative traditional look. Like, I don't really like have that, but like some girls prefer that. So you are gonna be ruling out like some options if you do get them. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but I'm saying like you should like be getting them because you want to, not just to like attract like women and shit. Because like then like you're not doing it for the right reasons, and you ultimately gonna regret that shit. You know what I mean? That's just like in general. Like, don't just like try to like do shit just like to get women. Obviously, like, you want to like dress better and like make yourself look better, like get like yourself cleaned up and looking groomed and shit. But it's just like, I don't think you should be approaching like everything with like that mindset. Like, 'cause ultimately, I feel you're not doing shit for yourself or to like just better yourself in general. Move on to the next one. Let's see what else you gotta say.
Most women don't like most men. The first reason is due to inflation of options, right? The grass is always greener due to social media, dating apps, which have really boosted women's egos. Also, not to mention the 90-10 rule due to those options, meaning that 90% of the women are usually going after the top 10% of men and what they find the most attractive in the realms of looks, money, and status. And then the average woman versus the average man. We have seen it time and time again. The average woman has access to higher status, more attractive men, versus the average guy really doesn't have the same access that even an average woman would have nowadays. And because of that, it's kind of skewed up the dating dynamics, which overall has made it harder for men just to land a single date.
Honestly, like, I can't like disagree with him on this one, because I think like now with the social media and dating apps, like I think it's a lot easier for like the average like woman to like find a date than it is for like the average man, just because like women just have so much more options, and they're just like have like the upper hand in terms of like the initial stages of a relationship. So like they're just gonna like fare much better. These apps, they're more men than women on the app, and also the men are the ones making the first moves and the approaches, and they make the initial moves for kind of everything in like the beginning of this dating process. So they're just gonna have a lot more options to choose from. When like men are on these apps, they actually go through and like everybody, hope they actually like get a match. And even when they get a match, they have to like make themselves stand out in their opening message. Because like the average woman has like seas of like men messaging them on these apps, and like you have to make yourself stand out and make yourself different from all these guys. So it's a lot harder for like the average guy to like do well dating now, especially just like on the online space. Most men would honestly fare better if they like tried honestly meeting people like in person, at least like the average guy, just because like they can actually showcase more of their like own personality and like what makes them unique versus online. All they can like see is like the physical and like the superficial stuff. In person, whether you just go out like somewhere public, a bar, or doing like an activity, like you're more likely to like meet someone who is like something maybe of common interest to you, and or also like able to show off more of like who you actually are in the flesh. And also, if you just like shoot your shot in person, you're honestly just like show you just have a lot more confidence in that you're honestly doing more than what like most men already do anyways.
Here's how much it costs to have an attractive girlfriend. Weekly dates, $200 or $800 a month or $10,000 a year. Quarterly vacations, $2,000 or $8,000 a year. Holiday and birthday gifts, $5,000 a year. Miscellaneous, nails, shopping, whatever it may be, about $3,000 a year. All in total, about $26,000 a year. So if you're making $50,000 a year after taxes, you probably couldn't even afford to keep an attractive woman within your life, at least without her being miserable. In fact, she may even cheat on you with a baller. And if you're curious, we can actually put that to the test. Just go to limitless-attraction.com to get a loyalty test from me, and I'll DM your girl on Instagram to see if she'll go out with a guy like me. And we'll both see if she's really loyal.
Nah, this like do sound like such like a fuck boy. I ain't gonna lie, like, bro, like what? Why the hell am I gonna want to like spend $26,000 on like a girl I don't even know that well? A lot of people's honestly like yearly salaries, and that's like half of the average American's like salary like before taxes. It's like kind of like insane to like expect people to like do that. You should honestly try to like make more money just so you can just like take girls on like fancy dates every week, or like go on a bunch of lavish vacations with them and shit. Because even if you can like do that, you can afford to do all that stuff, like you shouldn't honestly have to do it. You should be with a woman that's with you because she actually likes you, and like she like fucks with like what you have and like who you are as a person and your character and shit, and also just like the whole like overall picture. You shouldn't just be with a girl who just wants you for what you can provide and your like money and shit. Because like, bro, like that's how like a lot of people get finessed. So that's how you lose half your money in the divorce. That's how you see these NBA players get into like groupies pregnant and shit, and then they'd have to pay like fucking insane child support like every month. Bro, it's like you shouldn't actually approach dating like that. You should actually date women who actually fuck with you like for who you are. I feel like with the way he talks about it, he makes you think that every like woman is after that shit. When in like, reality, like no, there are a lot of women who are and that do like care about that shit, but that's not every woman. Like there's girls out there that don't care about that shit, and they're not gonna like expect you to like pay for everything with them. Because bro, there's some women that be making like mad money and shit. They might even make more money than you, bro. They're not expecting you to fucking like fly them out places and pay for everything. Because if anything, honestly, that's honestly like the biggest behavior. Even if you got it like that, it's just like, yo, you're like spending $26,000 a year on like a woman you barely know and you don't even know that well. Like, bro, that's like crazy, bro. Like, nobody should be doing that shit. Fuck out of here. Like, fuck that shit, bro. Like, respect yourself a little more.
What are your fears to settling down with one girl and having a family?
Mostly just protection of my assets. I think that's the biggest thing. Once you build up certain assets about yourself in business, to realize that that can be taken away from you really is the biggest con to me. And I don't like the idea of how somebody can be rewarded for waking up one random day on a Tuesday deciding they don't want to be with you anymore. I just don't like that idea. But on the opposite hand, from the woman's perspective, I understand marriage does provide some sort of insurance for me to not do that. Because
like, I'm committing to you. I'm going to go through pregnancy probably for you, and you're just going to leave me high and dry.
Yeah, and that's where the woman just has to trust me. No. I trust myself more so than I trust a woman, honestly, even if I've been with her for a very long period of time.
I would even like marry like a woman I didn't like really trust like that. Because if I didn't trust her, like fuck, I ain't marrying her. If you like don't want women to take your assets like and shit, like you're worried about that, have her sign like a prenuptial agreement, like before you get married. Like you have to have that conversation before when y'all talk about like potentially getting married and stuff. We all have that conversation because honestly, it could be beneficial for both parties, bro. Like y'all both like keep what you have, y'all minimize like the losses and stuff, and y'all can just like go move forward. A lot of women get offended like if you like do shit like that because like they feel like they're being accused of doing shit for the wrong reasons. But honestly, it's just like the same thing as having like health insurance or car insurance. Like yeah, you're not like expecting to like get divorced or shit to like go down the rails, but you never know. Shit changes over you never know, so that's why you have it. Like people don't like expect to get into a car wreck, or people don't expect to like have a heart attack or sick. Shit happens, and like it's best to be prepared for that and just like and give yourself just like the security and safety net just in case some shit like that happens. Obviously you're not like pushing yourself towards that, but it's like you never know, and it's better to be like prepared and like protect yourself. It's like beneficial for both parties. And also like honestly, if you just marry someone who also just does like makes their own money and shit, like you don't have to really worry about that as much. They're like someone that's career oriented and focused, like they already got it on their own, like they didn't really need you type shit. So like I think like helps you out to like do that. Like you marry a woman that's got her own bag, so she's not gonna try and go after your bag. I mean, that could still happen, I ain't gonna lie. She could still try to finesse you from your bag because she might be getting greedy and shit, but that like helps minimize the risk. You know what I mean? So overall, like with this guy, like in particular, kind of have to take like everything he says with like a grain of salt. And I feel like he's like low key, like kind of a charlatan because he's just like he's just like spreading this like packaged up like message that he's just like spreading to the masses and shit. That's just like easy to digest, but like that shit's not really gonna work for everybody. This dude is already a good looking guy, he's a good physique and shit. He's already like doing well by making money on the internet, like selling this bullshit to people. What works for him is not gonna like work for like the average guy or a guy that's like a little bit on the more unattractive side. There's not like a one size fits all thing that like can really be applied for everyone. That's why I don't really want to exactly like go like into that like space and be like telling people what to do, because like, well, what works for me is not gonna work for everyone and vice versa. Honestly, all you can really do is just work with what you got. Nobody can be you like better than you. I know like that shit sound kind of corny and shit, but like it's facts. Like no one can be you better than you because like you're the only you. You're like unique to yourself. You're the only person who can do you. And to be honest, if you can like honestly confidently like be yourself and like do you, not trying to front and cap like OD, women will like recognize that shit. Like yeah, you're not gonna ever attract everybody. Not everyone's ever gonna like you and shit in life in general, but some will, and the right people will recognize what you got and like will fuck with it and appreciate it. I feel like you don't have to like fall for like these like bullshit men's advice videos like that, because like at the end of the day, they just trying to make money off you type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all they doing. Like you're trying to stack up their bread on like a bunch of like desperate men like who don't really know like what to do or like what they really want, and they're just like latching onto someone like as like a guru to like worship. And it's like, bro, that shit is goofy. Just like never like worship some person on the screen, bro. Because at the end of the day, they're people too, and they're just trying to like figure shit out just like the rest of us. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.